Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about this. Yep, you're not wondering what this is because it's pretty clear and obvious. Unfortunately, it's quite hard to kind of get this in the frame front and center because it's pretty big. I'm going to give you guys an idea of how big it is. Reason I was going to do a video on this today, guys, is that I've had a lot of comments on videos when I've been doing the premieres or the scheduled premieres when my new videos come out and I'm talking through some of the replicas. I've been using this thing. Actually, it's just, it's really useful just to kind of show you guys how some of the replicas fire. Obviously, I'm in my office here and it's quite hard to fire an airsoft gun inside your office because there's a lot of stuff that can break. I don't really want to hit the walls or the windows. So I found this, and I actually found it, I think, through a WAG Entertainment video, weirdly. I don't watch a huge amount of those, but I did see one, and it's been something I've been looking for a very long time, is a trapper target that actually is kind of good. Because there's a lot of them that I've bought them. I've seen a picture online or a video and I thought, wow, that looks amazing. I really need something that's going to actually contain the BBs and stop them from bouncing all over the place and give me like a background to test my actual replicas on if I'm inside, that is. Even outside, actually, you can use this, so that's great. But most of them, and I'll give you guys an idea here, are kind of like this. So pretty small. And this is actually quite a good one. It was the one I was using before, and the main reason I think it's good is because of this kind of hanging material here. What that does is it means when the BB actually hits it, it slows the speed of the BB down quite considerably, and it stops the ricochet quite a bit. So if you have a normal just kind of trapper target, what I find a lot is a lot of the BBs just bounce out because they will hit kind of the back of the target, ricochet out, go onto the floor, so it kind of negates the actual reason for it. Obviously, you do have a backstop and you're kind of containing probably most of the BBs, but it's also a small window, and what I found really annoying about this is that you have to put it up on something if you want it at chest or head height. So, you know, it's kind of like, okay, great, you know, I'm going to put this up, but if you're trying to practice it and do target shooting, you need to find like a chair or a load of books or something like that. And again, you've kind of got that issue where you've got all this exposed area behind it. And also if you, for some reason, mess up your shot, the bottom is going to get damaged either way. So for zeroing, you know, you kind of need to know you're in the right zone or right location prior to actually taking those shots. Because if you're zeroing a red dot or any kind of sight and then suddenly it hits outside that box area, it's obviously going to do some damage to something. So this one I saw, the name of it is actually, because I keep getting asked this, it is the Top Airsoft BB Target Trap Tent. Top Airsoft BB Target Trap Tent. This is priced at $40. Now $40 for a target is quite a bit, and actually the material on it, you can probably see it actually kind of looks like a tent that you would spend the night in if you were camping. But I have to say, it actually has been really good quality so far that I've used it. I've only had this probably for about a month, but I have put quite a few rounds into it. So $40 for me is not a crazy price. I think it's spot on probably for what you're getting for this. And the amount of people that have written in these comments on my videos like, hey, what is that target in the background? What are you shooting into? Because that looks like something I want to buy. I'm writing it down a lot. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a video about it, do a quick review, talk through what it is, kind of what the features are. And then hopefully if you guys think it's something you'd like to buy, then you've got that information. So it's of value to you guys on the channel. So as I said, $40. The thing I love about this really is the size and the height of it. It's kind of got those wire, you know, it's like one of those tents that kind of inflates itself. I actually bought another one because when I bought it, I was like, there aren't many around, so I need to get one of these. You can only get it in this kind of old school woodland camo, which I don't think is great. I would really like a black version or a tan or something, which is just a little bit more mellow. But you can only get it in these kind of woodland camo version that I have seen. This is what it comes like. So this is a bag which keeps it in. You literally unzip this here, and that is the tent inside. So it is one of those tents which is just going to wrap up and condense into kind of like a coil effectively, or kind of circular size. which is great because it means that actually that's pretty big, but doesn't necessarily mean, oh wait, I have to transport it like this. You can wrap it up, you can get it into your bag, whatever it is that you're transporting, and take it with you anyway. So anywhere. So I think that's great. Other things that I think are great about this is this. You have that, whatever is it, like kind of shredded tent material, which is good. I think that kind of has a similar effect to what the other the other target that I had here, the BB catcher. So that's going to kind of stop ricochets, but it actually also has two of these other ones behind it, which are just pieces of cloth. And then it has a third one behind that as well. So you've actually almost got like 3 or 4 layers there, 4 layers, depending on where you're hitting it. And that really does catch the BB. They're set pretty far in here, or that this one's kind of close to the front, which means the ricochets, if they're even coming back out, they're going to get stopped hopefully by this. But they're set pretty far back into it. So actually, if BBs are hitting it, they tend to drop, and I've had a few bounce out of there. You know, I'm actually going to show you guys quickly now after I've talked through it, just kind of what it looks like when you're hitting it with BBs. But I haven't really had many ricochets coming through. The other thing I think which is great is because it's so deep, and this one is, you know, it's probably 4 foot tall. If I stand next to it, give you guys an idea of the size. So that's it on the ground there. I'm 5'9", so yeah, 3.5, 4 feet probably size wise. So, you know, it's not the highest thing, but actually that kind of area, which is large and has that drop zone to it, it's been great. There is no real limit as well to BBs. With this, if this fills up, and I've got some in here, if there's quite a few BBs in there, it doesn't necessarily overflow, but the BBs, when they're hitting the bottom, are bouncing a lot more and they can bounce out. So I've noticed if that target's filling up, then I'm getting more ricochets. Whereas with this, you can imagine a BB dropping down to the bottom. It's not bouncing all the way back up to come out again, but it's something that you can't really fill up. So I've got some BBs in here now. It's probably hard for me to show you guys. You can see at the bottom there, that's where that weight is. But I haven't actually emptied this. If you're wanting to empty it, there's a couple of easy ways. And I think what is really clever is they've done this. So this is basically like a little zip with that window. You can see the BBs in there. It's a little zip with that window. So if you drop something in there, you want to pick something out, or you just want to empty it, you can just open that, pour it, you get rid of all of the BBs that you don't want in there, which is another just great design. I don't think this thing is going to last a huge amount of time. And I think for $40, you know, it's quite a bit of money to spend on a target, but actually you're probably not expecting it's going to last forever. This here, you can kind of see there's a bit of shredding that's gone on here with the actual material. I'll try and show you guys a bit closer there. You can see there's some shredding that's gone on. This is kind of catching into it, but the material's kind of frayed, and that's where it's been in the middle. This is kind of like a weighted bottom here, and there is some splitting there. So I think it's going to last enough time. But what I would say is I think if you're firing at this thing too close range, you are going to do that damage. And that's something that I think I've done. I have been firing some pretty hot replicas on it, probably snipers too close, 400 to 500 FPS. I've even put my M249 VFC gas blowback and just hammered it, probably with 300 rounds at one go. So that is also not great for what it is. But even though that damage is there, it hasn't actually seemed to affect the performance of it. If I've had BBs that seem to have gone through to the back, which is going to be hitting this material, they haven't gone through, so there's no damage on the rear of the actual target. It's just this in here, which is getting that kind of hit. One downside I would say though is it's not really that easy to kind of mount any target on here. I think you could probably clip something here if you're wanting to put a paper target so you can get more, you know, zeroing or closer to it. But some like this has got kind of like a little hanging string. It's got little things here which you can attach to. It doesn't have the ability to hang kind of a target where you're hitting it close by and knowing exactly how you can, you know, adjust in small ways. So I would say this is more of like a tester, or just, you know, is it firing right, or I just want to have a bit of fun and, you know, practice kind of my, you know, main body hits. It's not going to be a precise digital target or a precise paper target where you're zeroing a sight as much. But that is probably about it. I'll put a link down below in the description for you guys so that you can see where it's at. But in terms of a target BB trap kind of thing, this is by far the best one I've found. And I would really recommend it if you guys are, you know, wanting something that's going to do those things. It's a great piece of kit to have. I'm going to put it in that back corner now, which is where I normally have it, and then I'm going to fire some BBs into it just with my pistol and with a primary as well, so that you guys can just kind of get an idea of how it reacts. I think you've probably seen that in videos I've done before, but hopefully that's useful. So I'm going to put it here for you. The reason I'm doing that as well is because I don't really want to damage it more. I think that's definitely something you can do, as I have shown, firing at too close range. So I'm going to show you this quickly. This is what I'm going to fire now, is actually one of my Glock 45s. This is one that I haven't discussed on the channel before, but I am going to do another video on this, or do a video on this. So hopefully you guys think this is pretty cool, but this is an Umarex Elite Force Glock 45. You can see the TLR1 that's on there now. This Kydex holster as well, I love. Sorry, I'm going to start talking about my replicas as opposed to this target. So I'll show you guys what this is like here. So as you can see, all of those, which I emptied the mag into, all of those did not, none of those, sorry, actually popped out. The next one I'm going to show you is another one I'm going to do a video on soon. So this is almost a little bit of a, oh look, these are some other replicas you're going to see on the channel soon, so subscribe. But this is my Tokyo Marui AKM. I've talked about my AKX on here. I've put real wood on this, and this is actually one of the Bakelite magazines. I'll show you it in semi-auto. I'm trying to show you there so you can... I've done a lot of internal upgrades to this as well, guys, so get ready to do the video on this. And full auto, I've got that on dry fire, which is why I carried on firing. But as you can see, no BBs out of there. It's just great for what it does exactly what it says on the tin, and I highly recommend it. Okay, guys, that is me for this video. Hope you guys are good wherever you are, and I'll see you very soon in the next one. Goodbye.